Well, this is the pointy end of the boat, or otherwise known as the bow. We've got one crew cabin in here which will house 2 people for the duration of the voyage when we're all in there. Plenty of storage up the front and underneath the decks, but also up in the ceiling here we've got 2 sleds. At the end of the expedition, when we need to remove equipment and may have to tow it long distances over ice, that's what they're for, so we'll be putting the heavy items in there and towing them behind us. This is also the most luxurious of the 2 cabins, in that it's the ensuite, as you'll soon see. This is the wonderful facility, specifically designed for this voyage, which all of the crew will share, which will be very pleasant to say the least, seeing as everybody else will be downwind of whoever's on the loo here.
And is there a toilet roll holder?
Sadly not on this vessel, no. I did look at a couple of things from a couple of the major stores, but nothing really was taking my fancy to go with the blue.
Wet wipes?
Wet wipes could well be in prevalence here. There's somewhat of a luxury, but hopefully they won't freeze as I've had before, which makes it a little uncomfortable to say the least. On top of the boat here we have the main communications, which is the Iridium Open Port. That's a satellite, big satellite tracking device, which hopefully will keep us in touch with the outside world. And the wind generator, we don't know if the conditions are always going to be, if it's going to be enough sun or whether it be cloudy. During those days, hopefully the wind generator will help to keep the batteries topped up. Moving around, we've got the man overboard life sling. If somebody does go overboard and they're a little distance from the boat, we can throw that to them and get them back on board quickly as possible, as it's a major concern, obviously being in the cold water. Here we have the lee board. This is actually, we can raise this or lower this. In a side wind, we don't have a great deal of directional stability, so we can push that down and that makes the boat track really nice and straight, but obviously raised when we're in the ice. Onto the engine room, we've got the 3 rowing positions, obviously 3 people rowing for 3 hours at a time. We've got little lunch boxes underneath them so they can keep snacking and keeping their calories topped up and keeping the energy levels. We've got quick release foot straps. In case the boat does actually turn over, whoever's there, pull those and they'll actually be out rather than having their feet stuck in the boat, which would be rather unpleasant to say the least. Here we have, it looks like it's a vanity mirror for Billy doing his hair first thing in the morning. This is actually, obviously we're travelling that way, so whoever's rowing here can control the boat via foot steering here, via a couple of lines, and they can keep an eye out what's ahead of us, i.e. icebergs or whatever else. Solar panels on top, and we've got a stick here, that's actually to hold the wind indicator, or the anemometer, and solar panels keeping us topped up with electricity. Into the aft cabin, the big cabin. Believe it or not, there's going to be 4 of us living in here in very close proximity when the boat is stuck in ice or we're on land and we have to rest and wait for weather to pass. 2 people on the top with lots of storage underneath. 2 bunks down here. These are the interesting berths, not for the claustrophobic, it must be said. To squeeze into here, these are affectionately known as the coffin berths, for reasons which will become fairly apparent. Once you're tucked in there, the boat could be moving around as much as it likes and you're not going anywhere, so probably the 2 most practical berths on board, if not a little claustrophobic to say the least.
And room for 2?
I think you could probably squeeze in here, Billy.